always like to bring in the tarot just because it brings in a different message, a different energy, a little bit different than the astrology, the astrological view of things. So before I talk about these cards, I always do a little prayer of thanks. I'm going to do that now. Just taking a deep breath here. I just want to take a moment to thank the energy of the cards and what messages they have to offer us. You know, the cards can be a guru as well, under this Guru Purnima moon. So we allow the cards now to provide us with whatever wisdom and message that we need to receive. I always pull a card for past, present, and future. And funny, despite shuffling, I pulled the Wheel of Fortune again for the third moon circle in a row. And also this time around, all three cards were in protection mode. They were in reverse. And the cards after that were upright. So I knew it wasn't a mistake. It was supposed to be that way. But they were pulled in reverse. So when I see that, when all three cards are pulled in the reading as the reverse, I see it as kind of a message of protection, to slow down, to pay attention, to have more awareness, to take caution. So I give you that message now overall before we even look at the cards, to be mindful in this super moon where you might be a little irrational or pulled up in your mind, just to slow down. Pay attention to what you're doing. Pay attention to your energetic exchanges and the energy around you. Pay attention to your actions, your behavior, your reactions. It's time to take caution so that we don't have to deal with any repercussions on the other side. With that being said, let's talk about Temperance being in reverse. Temperance. So Temperance is the angel of time. She's got one foot in the river. She's pouring from 2 cups. And she's symbolized by the number 14, which is a master number 5. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 months left in this year. Okay? And she reminds us to slow down and pay attention to that. Right? She's in protection mode. Things might be a little upside down right now. If your life is feeling off, if you're feeling off, things are off. And energetically, you need to rebalance. You need to realign. And you need to figure out what's going on so that you find more flow state all the way through, right? As I clear my throat. When we pull the Temperance card in reverse, we are shining light on things of the past that we are connected to in an unhealthy way. So we're letting our stories play into the victim side of our ego, which thrives on looping that same disaster over and over and over again. I still play out mistakes in my mind. I still play out in my mind like big mistakes I made in my past long before I ever awakened spiritually. I think about one particular thing that maybe one day I'll write about or talk about or whatever, but I just can't even talk about it yet. I am so shamed. I'm going to label it. I'm so shamed of my behavior from a time in my past that I still can't talk about it. But it still comes up in my mind. And even though I would never behave like that now, and I just embrace that as a learning point, I still have those feelings about it, right? And that's a perfect example of the Temperance card in reverse. So do you have a past experience or a past behavior, a past reaction? You know, you can't change the past. You can't do anything about it. But are you energetically attached to it in an unhealthy way? You know, shame is a very low frequency. Shame, regret, jealousy, remorse, low frequencies, right? So if you're feeling that right now, it's time to change the way you feel about it. I think that I will probably write about it. Maybe I'll talk about it out loud on a recording. I don't know how to get it unstuck. But we have to find ways to get these things unstuck that we're feeling about our past that aren't healthy anymore. We're always going to have it. We're always going to have a memory of it. How can we change the way we feel about it? Remember that this moon is ruled by the Vishvadevas, these gurus to the gods that bring in life lessons, dharma. Where is our path headed based on our past behaviors, experiences, etc. So slow down, take caution, take note of what's coming up or what has been coming up over and over, and change the way you feel about it for good so it doesn't keep coming again and again. All right, moving on to the present. I pulled the Ace of Cups in reverse. Now, anytime we pull the Ace of Cups upright, it's usually good stuff. Creative flow, fertility, birth of a child, good stuff. When we pull the Ace of Cups in reverse, we pull challenging times around fertility, pregnancy, birth, maybe fear as well, lower frequency emotions because the cup is upside down. Anytime we have cups, this is a symbol of water, right? Water is a symbol of our emotions. This is also a symbol of the womb itself or second chakra. So Roe versus Wade, I think that's definitely one of the things that's coming up that this card is just like shining light on. And this isn't a time to get political, but however you feel about it, let it fuel you, right? To make change for however you want the change to be. I do also think that having the Ace of Cups upside down reminds us to get our emotions unstuck. Pour out the cup. Empty your feelings out instead of keeping them there all contained where they're not serving you, right? Where you're stuck in the flow and can't move down anymore to that root chakra. So I mentioned that I feel shameful about this thing in my past. Capricorn energy, this muddy energy of the Capricorn full moon, remember this is the present card. Capricorn has a muddy energy and that tends to lock up our emotions as well. And we have a hard time expressing our feelings. Capricorns aren't very good at expressing their feelings. They're very realist. It is what it is. That's the world, blah. But they do have deep feelings inside. And sometimes they do come up from being bottled up so strongly. Label your feelings right now. Find words to describe your emotions. And find a range of words, a vocabulary of words around your emotions. The more we learn to label how we feel, fun fact, I just learned this on a podcast, energetically in our body or like chemically in our body, we only see an emotion or a feeling rise up for about 30 to 90 seconds. It's only present in our body chemically about 30 to 90 seconds. But Lord, do we feel it forever, right? We feel those emotions long after. It's important to name how you feel so that you understand more about your reaction to the process, right? Because how you feel about something is always completely up to you. And you can feel multiple things about a situation at the same time, or you can feel different emotions about a thing in different times, right? So just label your emotions in the time that you're feeling them, in the here and now, to move this stuck energy out, to kind of dump out your sacral chakra. And this is going to create more space in the future for that open womb of creative flow. A safe space to create life, if that's what you're trying to create. But anything that you want to birth into this world, if you want to bring it in, you've got to move any stuck emotions out so that creative energy is moving through. Finally, for our future card, I pulled, I always say it, Wheel of Fortune. And this time, reversed. I mean, I shuffle the cards many, many times in between the moons. I do readings for other people and for myself where I shuffle the cards. Yet again, we pull the Wheel of Fortune for the third time in a row. Well, we got to think about power and control. Anytime the Wheel of Fortune is upright, it's like, hey, things are going to come your way. You're kind of in control of it. It's based on past life karma. So how you move forward or how you want to move forward is your choice. Do you want to learn the same lesson or learn a new one? When it's reversed, it's like divine intervention. It's almost like the Tower. Very similar cards. And in the Tarot, the Wheel of Fortune is halfway through the major arcana. So it's interesting that we're halfway through the lunar cycle and we're halfway through the year, and the Wheel of Fortune comes upside down to say, hey, things are going to happen. They're going to be out of your control, or they're going to feel like they're out of your control. Like this dog barking outside across the street from me is out of my control right now. However, you must be patient, because challenging times will not last forever. Frustrating times will not last forever. You know, the wheel will turn, the sun will set and rise again. But maybe it doesn't happen immediately. Maybe it happens later on. But one thing that we can do is we can pause. We can take a deep breath. And we can feel out how we're responding. I could get so mad about that dog right now, but I don't even care. Because I'm here in my new little space, grounded in with all this wood, tuning in with all of y'all, enjoying what I do best underneath the moon. All is well. It'll go away. It's not going to bark forever. So things are going to come your way. The cards are warning you now. Remember, this is protection message. Slow down, take caution, be aware of what's coming up, and be aware of how you react to it, so it doesn't become a dharmic or karmic lesson in the future. We want things to just keep on rolling. Wheels keep on rolling. That's what we want. Energy keep on turning, right? Towards good fortune things. This is the Wheel of Fortune. We're in Capricorn energy, which deals with money and abundance and fortune. We're working with pyrite tonight. Abundance, fortune. Okay? No matter where you are always abundant. It's all about your perspective. Start to get a little bit stubborn about a positive point of view. No, it's not easy. Especially right now. But can you get really persistent about it? And persistence is kind of like the word of this moon. Persistence. Put your head down like the mountain goat. Power through. Stand your ground. Hold your guard when you need to. This is also the buck moon. Indigenously, this is when you see the bucks, the young bucks starting to fight a lot. Kind of like the mountain goats, right? Similar energy. So, you know, you might need to get a little stubborn right now, either with yourself or with others, or you might need to back off. Where do you need to be more fluid and less rigid? Where do you need to let things roll off your shoulders instead of getting so triggered and reactive and wanting to fight and wanting to ram and wanting to put your head down? You know, can you get out of your own way? Can you change how you respond and how you act and how you behave? That's what this moon is all about.